Hi, I'm Sarah.
I'm Drew.
And we're back with another top 5 list for you guys for Let's Table It. And today we are continuing our alphabet series with the letter C. So these are our top 5 games that start with the letter C. Now this category, this letter has a lot of really great games, some of our absolute favorites. And so if we don't mention yours, we probably still like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But it's just, this is a top 5, so we had to be pretty cutthroat with this list.
And like with all of them, you know, it's games we've played and we enjoy.
And are still in our collection.
Yes, because we cull on a regular basis.
We do, and sometimes we play at a con or something.
Yes.
We play a game and we really enjoy it, but we just haven't gotten it into our collection yet.
Yep.
So.
Yep, 100%.
So here we go, our top 5 C games. Okay. We are starting off this list with an absolute family favorite, and that is Camel Up. Camel Up is a super zany, lucky camel racing game where you have colored camels that are racing around the track, and their movement is dictated by the dice that come out of the pyramid when you choose to move the camels. You also have a black and a white camel that are going backwards around the track, and the chaos happens when the camels stack on top of each other, because if they're in the same space, they will stack and not just be side to side. And so some camels can carry others. Those black and white camels can carry camels backwards on the track, and the end goal of the game is, it's not which camel makes it first necessarily, but it's you're betting on which camels are going to be first and last. And so it's definitely an interesting take on that racing game.
Yeah, and honestly, you go in knowing that it's going to be just fun and like you said, zany and crazy. And honestly, the most fun you have is when those black and white camels start getting in, interacting, because otherwise, it's just watching them go around, and there's plenty of racing games, but this one, adding those crazy camels, it makes a huge difference. And like I said, it ups the fun quotient so much.
And just the idea of the stacking, I think, helps a lot too, because as soon as you get a stack of camels, you're like, okay, well, this one's on the top, but this one hasn't moved yet, so this one could still move, but that one's still on top, so which one do I think is going to be in the lead? And so it's just one of those where you're kind of hedging your bets a little bit. And you score at the end of each round, too. You score based on betting which one's going to be in the lead at that point, too.
Yeah.
So
there's so many different ways to earn points and score on this one. It makes it a lot of fun.
And it's just a crazy, wild time. We've had so many times playing this game. We're like, what? No, how did that happen? Like, it's just one that we bring out when we want a family game that's going to hit for all of us.
Oh, 100%. Yep. Just fun.
Just fun. So that's Camel Up.
Okay, our second on this list is The Captain is Dead. This is one of those that I don't think gets enough love. If you're a true Star Trek fan like I am, this is your game. It is 100% trying to get a ship out of danger with everything going on around, and you have no captain. So you are playing a character or multiple characters, depending on how many people are playing. And each one has their own particular roles and cards they can use and things they can do. And you're trying to work together with those asymmetric powers to get the ship out of danger and essentially warp away. So it's just a lot of fun. And again, one of those, you can see things coming, you have to try to prepare, but sometimes things go awry, systems go offline. It's a lot of fun.
This was one of our first really difficult co-ops that we played, and it took us a long time to be able to figure out how to optimize. We've only ever played this at 2, but I know it plays
it'll play up to 4 or 5 at least.
I think even more than that. I can't see the player count on the board on the game here, but I think it plays up to maybe 6 or 8 even.
It could.
And there are so many different powers that you could have in this. So there are different colors based on kind of the rank of the crew member that you are choosing. And then for each of those, there's at least 2 different choices that you could have for the power that you have.
Yeah.
And that makes it really interesting and really replayable. Although I think when we play, we mostly...
we have our favorites. I mean...
Yes.
I got to take Spock.
Yeah. Not Spock.
Not Spock. But it plays up to 7.
Oh, wow.
So this is great. And I think that would be if you have the right game group, if you're big sci-fi people, this would be a lot of fun at 4, 5, 6.
for sure.
You know, because everything's happening, and by the time it gets back around to your turn, 10 things have happened, and I mean, it's
Yes.
fun. But definitely fun with strategy. You know, I think that's, you know, Camel Up was just fun zany. This is fun strategy. So I think it levels it up a notch.
You definitely have to plan.
Oh,
for
yes.
sure. You
Yep.
can't just go into it blind. You have to be like, well, on this turn I can do this, so then on your next turn can you do this?
Yeah.
And talking, communication.
Yes, exactly.
Is a huge part of this game.
That is great. It's a good one because, again, you could maybe alpha gamer it, but if you've got enough, and there's a lot going on depending on how turns sequence, it's going to change. So yeah, I just think it's, like I said, for me right now, it's kind of that quintessential Star Trek game that isn't a Star Trek game. So
That's The Captain is Dead. Okay, next up, we have one of my very favorite games, and I think we put this on our worker placement list
probably,
as well.
yeah.
But I absolutely adore Creature Comforts. It is the coziest of the strategy, I think, for me, where there is still some strategy, and you have to think about your moves ahead of time, because in this game you are going to roll some dice, and then you're going to place your workers, and then you're going to roll more dice.
Yes.
So you kind of have a little bit of information of what dice you're going to have to work with, because each worker placement spot requires some combination of dice. It could be something as simple as a 5, or it could be something like 3 dice under 6 that total under 6. And so you've got a lot of thinking to do of hedging. Well, I really need this. My roll wasn't quite what I need, but I'm going to try it anyway, because I know if I don't get it, I still get a little bonus and a lesson learned token.
Yeah, and that's the great thing. That helps to offset some of that luck that can come with rolls. But yeah, it's a fun little worker placement. Definitely meatier than kids' table board games sounds.
Yes.
You know?
I think I brought this one up on Instagram not that long ago, and someone said, oh, well, my kid would love this. And I was like, well, just so you know, just because it says it's published by Kids Table Board Games, this is a little bit heavier, not heavy,
No.
but our 9-year-old struggles a little bit with the strategy of, you know, the text on the cards as far as the combinations that you need, and then the decision space. And it can be a little long with more players.
Yeah, and they say 45, but I think I think that's a 2-player game. We can knock this out in 35 to 45 minutes. But if you're playing 3, 4 players, especially if they're younger, I think you're looking at a longer time, and that might dissuade you. I think it says 8+, but 9 to 10+ is probably a good starting point. Yeah,
for sure. And you can scale it down a little bit. You can take some season cards out, or month cards out, that help make it a little shorter.
Yep.
And then the last time we actually played with both of the micro expansions. Yeah. So there was a player power that you can choose, and that kind of helps you gain some different resources. And then there was a Dreams Come True, where you get a couple cards, and it gives you some just little objectives that you maybe wouldn't normally go for. And so that was kind of interesting, trying to maximize those scoring opportunities with your normal of getting these comforts made for your long winter. And so that was really interesting. It added a layer for sure.
It really does. But again, there's so many cards. There's a lot of variability. I've never felt like, I know what to do. That's this again, and we're gonna, you know, it's different every time.
Yeah, for sure. So that is one of my absolute favorites, Creature Comforts.
So our next is a family favorite in The Crew. This is always kind of credited with the whole trick taking and a kind of a big resurgence.
And co-op trick taking.
Exactly. And it's very unique. We both grew up in the Midwest playing a lot of trick taking games, you know, just playing cards. And so that wasn't a whole lot new to us, but the co-op angle and the different missions, whether it's this one or it's Deep Sea, either way, they're tons of fun. Our son loves this game. It's one of his favorite, and it's so easy to travel with and take with us. But you're getting certain objectives depending on essentially
the mission,
which mission you're playing, and you're basically not talking, but you are in the way you're playing or in some things that they allow you to do, you're giving certain clues and trying to nudge people in certain directions, trying to kind of, like I said, by what you're playing, give them hints on what you're doing and what you've got. And it's simple trick taking otherwise, really.
Yeah, and I think if you are someone who doesn't like cooperative games because of the alpha gamer opportunities there, something like The Crew, where it is no communication, that really fixes that situation, because nobody can look at your cards and tell you what you should do. You have to make those choices on your own. And it has been fun for us as people who grew up playing 10-point pitch or pinochle with our families. It's been fun for us to kind of teach those strategies of reading what your partner has based on the cards that they're playing to our kids without being just a regular old card game for us. This one's just, it helps us work together and not have to compete against each other, which is super fun for us.
Yeah. And it says 3 to 5, but there is a 2-person variant. And honestly,
it's harder.
It's harder, but it's still fun, and it's not huge on management.
No.
So even something like this, I'm glad that they give a 2-person variant, and it's very manageable.
Oh,
it's
for
good variant. It really
so
is.
Instead of having just like a dummy layer of cards, a dummy hand of cards, you're going to put out the cards. Half of them are face down and half of them are face up. And so sometimes you have to dig a little bit into those face down cards to find what you need to complete those objectives. And so I think it is a little bit harder because when you have 4 players that each have all of their cards in front of them, you know someone has the one.
And somebody's going to be able to play that when you put that 9 down, whereas if it's covered, you might be in trouble.
So it definitely adds a layer of strategy and maybe even complexity for people that are super used to trick-taking games. So I've always really enjoyed. We've played through all of the missions as Drew and I as a couple. We have taken this to family events and played with Drew's family a few of the missions. And we're maybe about halfway through with the kids playing this one. And then we did start on Deep Sea, but we decided to wait and do that with the kids then once we get through this. So. Definitely one of our family favorites, The Crew. Okay, our last game for today, but not least, is Cascadia. And this is another one that is a cozy favorite of mine. In Cascadia, you are laying tiles. So you will choose a combination of a tile and an animal to put onto those habitats. And you are trying to create different scoring opportunities with the animal patterns. So it might be in the salmon, you might need to connect them all. Or the bears, you need to have them in groups of 2 or something like that. And then at the end, you'll also score for the corridors of the 5 different habitats that are in the Pacific Northwest. And so there's an interesting balance of being able to place tiles that allow you to place the animal that you need for your pattern while still making sure that you are completing those habitats. So it's a lot to think about.
It's definitely one of those where you can't just go all or nothing on one area. It won't work. You might feel like you've got the advantage on those animal objectives, but then when it comes time to score those ecosystems, it catches up.
And you get bonus points if you have the biggest of each area, the most tiles of each kind of habitat. So definitely have to balance.
Yeah, and I think what we like about this, and Flat Out makes some great games, is that compared to some others, such as Calico, which I know a lot of people might put on this list, this is a little more open. It doesn't feel as closed off and as punishing as Calico can as you start getting down to the last few.
By the last couple of turns of Calico, you're just like, well, I hope that one tile comes out, because otherwise I'm not going to make this. Whereas Cascadia, you have so many options of where to place this tile.
And again, it's that openness. Nothing's confined by shapes and things like that. It really just feels like you can, with what's out there, you can try to do what's best. It doesn't feel like it's all or nothing.
Yeah. Cascadia also has a lot of different sets of cards that you can use for those animals. They have a family variant and an intermediate variant, which have been great for introducing our kids to this game. And it also has some, some things that you can work on in the book, in the rule book. It has some little things that like you have to score this many points using this set of cards. And so that's kind of something that's fun to do also. And then you can do it solo. I've played this solo several times, and it is a super easy AI to work with as far as you just clearing a couple extra tiles each round. And it's super fun and relaxing even as a solo game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Definitely recommend Cascadia. So these are our favorite top 5 games that begin with the letter C. Do you see your favorite in this stack, or would you add something else?
Yeah, 100%. If you see something or don't see something that you think should be there, definitely drop it in the comments. Let us know. We really do go back and read the comments. We try to interact, and we like getting some suggestions. There's definitely some out there, you know, some that spring to mind that, like I said, I think other people might say would be things like Cascadero, you know, there's,
like you said, Calico.
Calico, there's tons.
There's tons of letter C games, as we found out when we went to make this list. So you definitely know this for us is the cream of the crop because we had a lot of choices.
And like I said, this is what we've played. I would like to try Castles of Burgundy. We haven't yet.
Yep.
So, we 100% get it. Drop us a line in the comments. Let us know what your favorites would be.
We always want game recommendations because we're the gamers that like to try something new a lot. We're not a ton of like replay till we're sick of a game. We want something new hitting the table all the time. So let us know your recommendations. If you've liked our top 5 lists or you're looking for some more recommendations or reviews on games, make sure you're subscribed to Let's Table It. If you want to see more about our day-to-day family gaming adventures, whether it's Drew and I as a couple or the whole family, find us over on Instagram at Sarah Always Loses. Until next time, we'll see you at the table.